Second bow. Third bow.
Your original sound is not on.
Original sound should be on. Oh, it's not. It went off. Every time you switch a microphone, it goes off. Okay. Well, there you go. Hope you bowed. All right. Now, lots of logistical issues here. Here we go. Okay, we'll put that away. Now, we will bring up our keynote Dharma request. And Simon is our Dharma requester. So, Simon, if you would like to request Dharma, please do it now.
阿弥陀佛。恭请大德僧听，为此法会，一切众生，请转妙法轮，教导我们如何了生脱死，离苦得乐，速证无生。Will the Sangha with great virtue, out of compassion, for the sake of this assembly and all living beings, please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach us how to leave suffering and attain bliss and end birth and death, and quickly realize non-birth.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Homage to the blessed, noble, and perfectly enlightened one.
Homage to the blessed, noble, and perfectly enlightened one.
Namo sadanto suchedoye alahadi samyao samputoshye.
Namo sadanto suchedoye alahadi samyao samputoshe.
无上甚深微妙法，百千万劫难遭遇。我今见闻得受持，愿觉如来真实义。Supreme and wondrous Dharma, subtle and profound, rarely is encountered, even in billions of eons. But now we see and hear it and accept it reverently. May we truly understand the Buddha's actual meaning. Okay, again we say, 欢迎各位，我们就继续准备讲经。那讲经如果能引请华严海会佛菩萨、天龙八部护法三圣参加我们的法会，更庄严、更如法有光明照顾各位。So we, in our procedure to get the sutra lecture going, we invoke spiritual presence. We invite the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and of course, if they accept our invitation, then it's especially adorned and full of light, which shines on all of you. So let's be sincere as we make our request. 我们就诚心来请。 set that aside and move on to the Pomo people who practice their spiritual connections to the earth and to all creation here on Pomo Tierra, which was the original name of what is now City of 10,000 Buddhas. And here in their ancestral land for tens of thousands of years, today we acknowledge them as traditional custodians and original storytellers of these lands. We offer our respect to their elders past, present, and emerging, and to all First Nations people whose sovereignty was never ceded. 就说婆摩人在他们祖先的土地上修炼着他们与土地和万物的精神联系已有数万年。今天我们承认他们是这些土地的传统监护人和原始讲故事的人，并且向他们过去、现在和新兴的长老们表示敬意，以及主权从未破格人所有第一民族人民们表示敬意。Okay, moving forward, this is for Australia. This is for Berkeley, Alameda County. And wherever we are, we sing the bell song. Here we go. The bell sound wide resounds throughout 100 million worlds. The Buddha's law is heard and spread all throughout the triple world. The wondrous sounds that everywhere fill the Dharma realm with peace. May those who hear it gain the strength to follow in faith the Buddha's path. 佛法传3000界内，众生传3000界内，就是说佛法扬万亿国中，共训启法界和平，利益报他脑后的 Indeed. Okay, there we go. Now, I wanted to say that I'm very happy to get the opportunity to share with all of you the 10 Transferences Dharma. This, I think it is often overlooked in its importance to bringing the Buddha Dharma alive. It's a long chapter, and it's not as famous as the 10 stages, the 10 grounds. It's not as famous as Rufa Jepin, entering the Dharma realm. But it is, in terms of actual picking up Mahayana Dharma and practicing it, it's really, really important. It is central to it. The same way, I guess, that Pushen Pusa kind of gets overlooked as well. People, he's the quiet bodhisattva of the 4 major bodhisattvas, Manjushri, Avalokiteshvara, Guanyin Pusa, Earth Treasury, Kshitigarbha, Dizan Pusa. Pushen Pusa is the one that we don't know as much about. And yet, once you pick up practice yourself, once you start cultivating according to our teacher's instructions and according to the sutra, and you realize, oh, Pushen Pusa is in the middle. He's the one who teaches us how to move through the bodhisattva path. So transference is his number 10 of 10 instructions, and learning how to do it opens up this wonderful connection between my mind and my body in this moment and the Buddhahood and the bodhisattva path that I hope to realize in the future. So it's this practice of transference is portable. You carry it with you wherever you are, and if you pick it up and make it a practice that you really put time and effort into, it changes your mood. It's hard to be depressed. It's hard to be sad when you're cultivating either a mantra or a Buddha's name or bowing or whatever practice and practicing transference because your thoughts are moving out with a wish for goodness. So these last few lectures, and we're on, I think, what was it, number 20 since we started? These are really key to explaining how transference actually works. So I hope folks recognize how central this is. 就说这个施惠商品在研究华严经当中，很多人可以说不完全了解它的重要性。我本身有机会跟大家一起研究华严经，我觉得非常难得，很光荣，有这个机会华严经上有十地品，哎呀，大家知道它的重要性。还有入法界品，有这个英雄出来了，这个 pilgrim，探险的人出来了，所以大家就很高兴。可是施惠商品好像也有，可是不了解它的重要性，就等于谁呢？等于普贤菩萨。在四大菩萨当中呢，我们都大智文殊师利，大悲观世音菩萨，大愿地藏王菩萨，地藏菩萨，地藏经。可是普贤菩萨，好像比较陌生，看得 quiet bodhisattva， 安静的菩萨。可是呢，我们一开始就像跟着玄公上人来把修道当一个，就是我自己要用时间要用力来修道的话，普贤菩萨一下就在中间了。我们要注意他的教诲，因为他是大恒普贤王菩萨。我们所谓六度万恒，是不是？这个万恒呢，10,000 practices， 84000法门，就是普贤菩萨是我们最好的顾问，最好的导游，告诉我们怎么样修行。那个时候，对了，普贤菩萨十大愿望，他那个十大愿呢，十大恒愿回向是最后一个，应该说最重要。如果我们明白如何应用这个回向这个法门，那就是就说无论哪一个时候，昼夜六时我们都行住坐卧24/7，那我们就有办法用功。我们可以用心来修这个法门。它这个回向的法门是心理的法门。这个你不是说你像礼佛用身体回向是用心，所以呢，它是可以提动的 ，portable 就说我们什么时候回向功德的话，那就说不容易有这个沉闷呢，不容易有犹豫，这个 mood 就不愉快。为什么？忙用心在把今天我们什么样的功德呢？就布施给人家。所以呢，我们这样子真的专心来回向呢，那就没时间来犹豫没时间来沉闷呢。所以他的是 mental health， 这个精神健康，就是因为明白，然后呢继续用功修行回向功德这个法门。OK，all right，so 还有就说这个第六回向的最后几段，不就是我们现在在讲进去。 快没有多久了，我们就开始这个重诵第6回向。在那个时候，这几天这几个讲座呢，就把这个回向的方法讲得清楚，讲义把它follow了。所以各位要注意这个华严经的解释。如果我们真的要明白如何运用这个法门So just to say, these last couple paragraphs here. I'm wearing a vest, by the way. People say, why is Fasher wearing black clothes? I just put on a vest because it's cold in here. 因为天气冷，所以我穿有一件衣服没关系了these last couple paragraphs at the end of the 6th transference are really important to understand how it works. And there are several places in the 10 Transferences that talk about the mechanics of it. How does it actually work? And I hope folks who are interested and who can use commentaries and other texts will, together with me, investigate and come up with your understanding. Because it's, if you think, bowing to the Buddha, the first of Samantabhadra's 10 practices, is a physical practice. You actually put your body down on the ground, and you have to balance your breathing. After a while, we finished the 10,000 Buddhas repentance. So that's, you know what a physical practice that is. But look at transference, dedication of merit. It's done with your mind. There's nothing physical about it. Any way we can make transference physical? I don't think so. It's done with your thoughts. So, like praising the Buddha is done with your voice, extending generosity, guangxiu gongyang, making offerings, that's done with your body and your mind. Repenting is done with body and mind. Rejoicing is mental. Requesting is mental and physical and vocal. Let's see here. Asking the Buddhas to stay in the world, you have to speak. Following the Buddha and study with the Buddhas and according with living beings. Those are, as we get through the 10 practices of Samantabhadra, it becomes more mental work done with the mind, isn't it? 看起来我们那个10大愿望，礼佛是身体要用，拜下去，跪拜。承上如来是用身体，用嗓子，用这个口音开口讲话。这个广修供养，那就是要用身体，要用心，然后忏悔业障也是跪下去，所以也属于身。那个随喜功德呢，开始用心轻转法轮，轻佛注释，也是用口用声音常随佛学恒顺普界恒顺众生就是心，然后呢普界回向完全用心。所以呢，我们从第1到第10越来越归于这个无心的心态，也是菩萨道，菩萨戒也是用心来修，所以呢，这个是我们如果谁跟我想研究这个回向的法门，我就欢迎，到底是怎么一回事？我修的功德呢，不是给你，这个是有一个正确的认识，所以我们都要正确认识。So how does it work that the work that the cultivation that I do and the merit that I cultivate, I give to you? How does that work? We want to understand that correctly, don't we? Okay. Not this one, but this one. Okay, here we go. Today, we'll start with, oops, sorry, didn't want to do that. There we go. Here we go, right there. Let's see. I'm going to return to this one. Well, we did this last week, but this will get us. It's a one thought, so we'll continue. 我们上个礼拜就讲过这里，讲过这一段，可是这是一个道理，所以我们就回来从这边开始。Let's start again. Okay, here we go. 菩萨如是观察诸法，此为非法，语言语中，虽是建立非法为法，不断诸业道，不舍菩萨行，求一切智，终无退转。Thus do bodhisattvas contemplate phenomena as intrinsically empty. Following worldly convention, they speak of phenomena, which are intrinsically empty, as being substantial. Not refraining from creating karma, nor forsaking bodhisattva practices, they seek omniscient wisdom without ever retreating. Okay, English explanation. This is really schizophrenic. It's really, you have to split your mind. Which is what? This is what bodhisattvas are able to do. They see how dharmas are empty, meaning when you pursue them to the ultimate point, they keep disappearing on you. It's true. You can do this physically. You can analyze. So let's see here. I have some recitation beads. These are very nice beads, right? They're stones. They're very heavy, right? Clunk, clunk. These are, this could be, is it Manao? If Madalena were here, I would hand them to her and she would say, oh, that's Manao. Or maybe not. It might not be Manao. It might be something else. Choju, right? This might be Choju, cart tracks. Anyway, if you take these and analyze them on a spectrograph or something, you would come up with the physical elements that make them up. The metal, these are stones, so they belong to the element earth. And when you analyze them from the point of view of chemistry, you can take them apart. It's this element, this element, this element coming together, what would you do to make these something else? How stable are these chemically? Are they inert? Can they be, can you burn them until they melt? Or I'm not sure how you would do it. But that would be one possibility to take them back. Let's see, atoms and molecules, right. You could take the atoms and molecules back to some other combination so that their bonding agents let go of the bond, find what is inert and what is active in the elements and take them apart, and they become something else. And then you take those elements back and you get to emptiness. If you analyze atoms, you discover there are protons, neutrons, electrons, and not the core, what's the word? Basic chemistry. Lost my vocabulary. So protons, neutrons, electrons, and something. And when you analyze those, you discover that in each atom, from the point of view of an electron microscope, there's a lot of empty space in each atom. And molecules, let's see here, somebody's going to have my word here. Protons, neutrons, electrons, and it's not the core, the central thing. I'll think of it. So here we go. We've got our chemists here. Nucleus? Yeah, nucleus. There we go. Thank you. So when you analyze things that seem when you do it from the point of view of physical chemistry, you see that things are all made up of other things. Let's take something very present, like a computer or a phone. Okay, here is a cell phone with a wallaby on it. That's my cover screen of my Wallaby. Okay. So computers are very obviously made up of other stuff. You have a CPU, right? The chip, and that's made of all kinds of earth elements. Then you have the monitor, the display, and that's something that requires electricity to charge up before the picture comes. Then you have a keyboard, and the keyboard has to work with various alphabets, Chinese, English, Vietnamese. Then you have printers, then you have microphones, then you have cameras, et cetera, et cetera. All those things come together to make up the experience called computing, and take them away, and suddenly the computer doesn't work. Or if you have the wrong plug for the country that you're in. Oh, I've got an Australian plug, but I'm visiting Los Angeles. Uh-oh, you know. So very tenuous combination. The elements come together, the fa, the yuan, the conditions, and when they come apart, it's over. So that's a good example of how, from the point of view of the Buddha's insight, everything is that way too, including our bodies, including the planet itself. It comes apart, and then it comes together, and it goes through stages of coming into being, abiding, decaying, and vanishing, and then returning in another combination. So that's reality. And bodhisattvas, in their meditation through samadhi, through their ability to focus their mind, they investigate every phenomenon that way, and they contemplate. Now check what it says. Following worldly convention, when it comes time to talk, they say, yeah, computer. Yeah, my computer's out of whack. Can it be fixed, or do I have to junk it and get another one? What about my phone? Oh, I updated the firmware. Okay. What about my camera? Oh, I had to change the lens so I could get a telephoto and get birds in my pictures. So that's worldly convention. At the same time, they know that everything that they're doing, everything they're working with, is at some point coming apart. So all things in existence are in this dance of coming together in a certain combination that we're familiar with, and at a certain point coming apart again. Is that schizophrenia? No, schizophrenia is a mental illness. This is not. It's wisdom, the ability to balance that knowledge and insight, and without freaking out, without going crazy, skillfully using it to help all of us not be quite so attached when things break up and go bad. 就说你看菩萨他的心这么微细啊，他的视心，他的智慧这么怎么说很巧，因为他能观察一切法空。怎么说空呢？就说他可以说从化学方面来研究哪一个东西。我刚刚拿出来我这个念珠，今天我在讲法的时候我就用念珠在这儿。那个念珠呢，就是什么车具吧？啊，如果有专家可以看了啊，是车具吧？是玛瑙、石头。Sneezing， 这个石头的念珠，你如果用化学来研究呢，它有种种的原子、种种的核子、分子才成。如果用火烧到哪一个度啊，才能把这个连石头也来融消了，变水。哈，那么意思是说，连石头的念珠，它也是其他的缘而成的。这个缘呢，如果是 active 还是 stable， 你就可以stable 还是 unstable， 坚固不坚固，你可以把它化了，它可以变质了，变性了，然后就说 连这个石头的念珠就变成另外一个体质。更恰当的一个比喻呢，是电脑。今天我们利用电脑，我有 laptop，你如果你的手机现在用 Zoom 这个软体，这个电脑和手机啊，或者 iPad 这个 tablet， 完全以众缘而成，以众缘而灭。你就有那个 chip， 还有那个荧幕，还有那个键盘，还有这个音标机，还有这个相机，这个microphone 扩音机什么的，才能有这种的我们所谓打电脑这个经验这个现象。那么一变了，那就黑了，或者没有电，或者你的插头是不同的国家的插头方式。你去旅行，你有澳大利亚的插头，可是到了海外不能用了，不能插，那就没有这个经验。为什么？众缘而成，众缘而生，众缘而灭，那么所以菩萨呢，他知道这个真实，可是呢，怎么说呢？他虽然在他说语言中随时建立非法为法，他可以说分他的心。菩萨看到我们非常执着现实的，保持我们的这个现状，不愿意改，放不下，舍不得，所以呢，他的工作是愿意令我们认识一切万法，包括这个地球在内，包括我们的身体在内，还有所有我们六亲眷属，他们都包括在内。到时候会改变了，会走了，会变形，会另外结缘所以呢，他能这样子，他没有执着，可是我们众生非常执着了，所以他用种种的智慧方便，令我们认识这个世界的这个事实，然后到时候改变不会太苦所以这个是菩萨的心呢，这么微细，这么巧妙他自己呢，他不断主业道，不舍菩萨行，求一切智，于众无退转。他虽然知道万物就这样空，一切法，可是就在这个空中，他继续用这个非坚固的法，求一个坚固的这个法身慧命。Now, the key here is the Bodhisattva, in the midst of that knowledge that all things fall apart, and that, as Bob Dylan said, everything is broken. He's in this world where everything is broken, and he still continues to cultivate with total sincerity the path of the Bodhisattva and the teachings of the Buddha, because this is the world where we're living. We're in like I said, it's a strange kind of dance where we skillfully, to the amount of skill that we have, to the amount of gongfu that we cultivated, we skillfully use the unstable, insubstantial aspects of reality to bring about a less painful result. Now, what's the benefits here? Well, for example, if we know that things don't last, it seems unwise to continue habits that cause harm. I'm thinking of meat eating. Meat eating harms, no doubt, the life of the animal or the creature that we killed to eat. And it also harms our bodies as well. It seems like such a few benefits. The benefit of eating meat is that fragrance, barbecue ribs, right? Or ham at Christmas, or turkey at Thanksgiving, and all the social stuff that goes around those holidays. And I'm talking from the point of view of America. And other places don't do Thanksgiving. You aware of that? It's amazing here. When Thanksgiving goes through in Australia, there's no such thing, right? Halloween is candy. But there are, in Easter is ham always. So to be able to say, my awareness of the way the world works has led me to appreciate the amount of suffering involved in taking the life of another creature to put inside my body. So I chew their flesh and digest it. I don't see the benefit because the statistics are all there. The reality that meat does not benefit the human body. We do much better on protein from other sources. And it does no good to the animals that we kill. So I'm going to reduce the amount of suffering by not eating meat. And I'm going to switch to a plant-based diet. You live longer. You spend less on medical bills. You never have to worry about constipation, ever, if you have a vegan diet, plant-based diet. Lots of fiber. So many benefits. And yet, the price you pay for doing that is what? When you go to the family's Thanksgiving dinner, you have to bring your own food. You don't eat the turkey sandwich afterwards. When you go to Japan, you have a very hard time. In Japan, vegetarian food is few and far between, right? So that's the price we pay for using our understanding of the Dharma and the phenomena as intrinsically empty. When you see that all things are empty, you think, why would I harm myself and harm others for something that ultimately is over in an instant, a flavor, and then it's all that karma comes, right? So I need to translate what I'm saying here. 如果各位明白这个菩萨的，他就观察诸法自谓非法，你就可以说，这是我绝对相信，这的确是真实，就是如是，是这样子的，一切法，就我们的那个习惯，都是因为习惯了，方便这样做，过去这样做，现在继续这样做，不要改啊。那么，你如果明白万法皆空的话，那你就为什么继续吃荤呢？吃荤呢，吃肉类，就包括鱼，包括鸡呀，对自己的身体没有好处，对于所吃的那个动物呢，或者鸟鸟啊，或者鱼虾之类，有相当坏处。你就杀它们，为我们的快口，就一时的快口，然后到了身体里边，就所损下的什么呢？大小便还有业报。你看，你知道这是一切诸法即为非法呢？不必积那么多恶业杀业，然后对身体相当坏处。为什么这样做呢？因为一时快口，一是这个香味，还有我们一些这个在那个一年的日历上有一些，我们就是说美国的话，有圣诞节吃那个ham， 就是猪肉啊。到了这个福圣节是猪肉，到了感恩节是火鸡，要吃火鸡。 可是我每天在这里喂火鸡，不是希望他们肥一点，可以到感恩节就吃了。这里这个澳大利亚没有感恩节，那是美国一个节日。这个火鸡呢，我每天跟他们看眼睛了，他们看着我的眼睛，我看他们的眼睛了。今天15只了，今天早上我喂15只这个火鸡。那你看，有年轻的，有年纪大的，有公有母。我看他们的这个家庭的关系了，因为每天那个小的、年轻的，他们要等这个好的玉米，我喂他们就是这个 bird seed 哈，玉米干、玉米干、玉米干，还有这个种种的这个什么呢？小米粥的那个小米啊，还有这个麦子啊，还有这个向阳花的那个籽啊。这些东西呢，喂给他们，那么两个小杯子就15只这个火鸡，那个小的往后退一步，让那个大的先吃这个好的。你看他们这样做呢，他们之间呢有一些规矩，有他们的这个社会的规矩，那就说。我看他们，我不是说，哎呀，你肥一点，你可以给我做一个好的晚餐，煮菜，不会，这个，看他们的羽毛稍微不好，他们就很仔细的把那个羽毛啊就安排，就让他们就整整齐齐的每天，这是相当有资格的，他应该有他的生命，让他的生命就尽量的长，很舒服了，日子过得健康安全，不是说他是给我吃的那么看这个呢，我不会，就是我不是吃素的，我就变成素食的尊重他们的生命所以呢，就说菩萨他。明白因为一切法归跟空，归就是归于空。为什么积恶业呢？杀他们 ？Yeah. So I'm talking about. Let's see here. I'm going to stop sharing my screen briefly. We're talking about one of the benefits of being a vegetarian is. You see things differently. So have I got? Let's see here. Where did I put them? Maybe I don't have my 15 turkeys. Today I fed 15 turkeys for breakfast. And because, let's see here. Okay, here we go. What have we got? Because I see these birds every morning, and I feed them. So, okay, let's see now. Here we go. So that's a good one. All right, take a look here. Share my screen. Here we go. Share my screen, and I'm going to optimize for video. There we go. All right, and let's play this guy. Hold on. Is that? Let's see where I am here. Oh, okay. There we go. 13 turkeys. Oh my goodness. So many turkeys. That's a lot, huh? Okay. Bon appetit, everybody. All right, so you get the idea. So every day, that was 13. I took that video last week sometime. So every day I'm here feeding these turkeys, and I'm very aware of their family dynamics. And I see how the young ones wait for the elders to finish eating, and the elders go for the good stuff, the corn, the dried corn. So the younger turkeys get the wheat kernels, which are not as nutritious. And I watch them take care of their feathers. If their feathers are slightly ruffled, they immediately take care of putting everything in order, because that's how they stay warm and how they stay waterproof. And watching their family dynamics and how they care for each other and relate as friends and as gender and as age. So I never look at these turkeys and think, oh, I like that fat one. That would be really good entree for tonight's dinner. I don't have that thought, because clearly these animals care for their lives. They care about their well-being, and they run from danger, and they run towards food. They're hungry in the morning, you know. And the idea that somehow for just a momentary flavor, as I swallow roast turkey or turkey and gravy, or, you know, gravy over the mashed potatoes, that's worth, that little bit of experience for me is worth having them die, killing them. It's like, that thought doesn't make sense to me now, because I've seen their reality of the value of their lives. So from the Bodhisattva's point of view, if we apply the Dharma here, you understand that everything goes back to emptiness. Because it goes back to emptiness, we want to use it skillfully. We don't want to use this reality of what's in that turkey's body to create bad karma. What would be the point? Since it's equally empty, all dharmas. So I want to use that wisdom, that knowledge, to create wholesome karma, and not with empty dharmas, right? So it's my choice. I'm empty, they're empty, so why not do it skillfully, right? 意思是说，菩萨他知道，就诸法自为非法，因为是非法，你就要用智慧来应用空空的万法做善。你如果就平等，我的身体也归于空，火鸡的身体归于空，这个那因为这个关系了，就平等，他们都平平等等的。这个万法为什么在这种情形之下，就用这个智慧来做坏事、做恶业，就让我来生都受果报？不用了，他没有智慧了啊！你说，哎，因为好吃，很香，到了感恩节，我可以吃这个火鸡，然后过了3天可以吃 turkey sandwich， 火鸡肉的三文治，不值的啊！所以呢，我们就一定研究华严经，不是说点点头说，哎，这个是老菩萨，好，然后呢，继续跟我们这个没有智慧的习气毛病。当然不容易是什么？到了感恩节，大家吃了火鸡，你说我现在不吃火鸡肉，我是素食，我愿意尊重万物的生命就像尊重自己的神明一样了so 你就那个时候你就带来自己的这个很香这个很好吃的素食那就可以了。可是呢不方便，当然你就吃素的人到了这个社会的关系呢不方便，你要努力一点就听大家效法你或者说你的什么什么你就没有关系了我明天喂这些火鸡呢，我一定要所有的火鸡 一样吃了啊，我的生命延长，让他们的生命延长就对了啊。So the price we pay is that when Thanksgiving comes and you have to bring your own veggie sandwich, or what was it, tofurkey, right? Somebody mentioned tofurkey. Yeah, you got to do that. That's the deal. And you know what? After a while, everybody goes, could I try a little bit of yours? What does it taste like? Oh, it's pretty good. Oh, yeah. And you know what? Tomorrow, all those turkeys are still going to be there when I feed them. My life extends, their life extends. Not a bad deal. 好了，了知一切业缘如梦，音声如响，众生如影，诸法如幻，而亦不坏因缘业力，了知诸业其用广大，皆一切法皆无所作，行无作道，未尝暂废。All right, powerful language. They understand that all karmic conditions are like dreams, all sounds are like echoes, all living beings are like shadows, and all phenomena are like illusions. Nevertheless, they do not interfere in the karmic workings of causes and conditions. They understand that karma functions extensively and that there is nothing to be done with regard to phenomena, yet they never stop cultivating the path of effortlessness for even an instant. All right, now this is a big deal here. This is really, I hope I get it right. I hope I can make sense of this for folks, because here's the point. Just like our Vajra Sutra, our verse in the Vajra Sutra, the Buddha says, all dharmas are like dreams, like illusions, like bubbles, like lightning flash, like dewdrops. Contemplate them thus. Here, it says all conditions are like dreams, like echoes, like shadows. All beings are like shadows. Everything in the world is like an illusion. And with that knowledge, it would be very easy to say, I'm out of here. This is too insane. This is how come everybody in the world is under this illusion that this is real. And yet it's not. The Bodhisattva doesn't quit at that point. He or she continues. They don't interfere in the karmic workings of causes and conditions. They don't try to mess with it other than to wake others up to it. What are they doing? They contemplate. This is key. It's a contemplation. You know it's that way, and so you yourself work to avoid karma of the body, mouth, and mind. At the same time, you want to increase the merit and the virtue and the blessings. You participate in the play, knowing it's a play, and you take it seriously. You don't at any point just laugh and say, oh, who cares? It doesn't matter. It's all empty, so I can go do what I want no matter. You understand cause and effect really works. Karma functions extensively. Those words, right? How did it go? They know. Let's see here. 了知诸业其用广大. Oh my goodness, paste that on your forehead, as they say. You understand that the functioning of karma is scary. It really is true. Karma is relentless. Everything we do is recorded. Where? Right behind our eyes, right there. And once karma, once phenomena, once things appear, you can't mess with them. You can just participate in the process for future conditions arising. And yet, they never stop cultivating the path of effortlessness for even an instant. Okay, now this requires a little bit more. This is 无作道. When we get to the 10 grounds, it's called the 无功用行, effortless practice. Practices where the bodhisattva at that point, this is a little further along in the bodhisattva path, that bodhisattva has already understood that there's, they say, you have to be really, really patient when you see that all dharmas are neither produced nor destroyed. And it's another level of samadhi and another level of wisdom and insight. And the bodhisattva at that point can go crazy, they say. So there's a moment when you qualify to get to that place called 不退转, irreversibility, no further retreat. And it's a psychological state. It's a very real challenge to the samadhi of the cultivator, because you could get to that point and go, oh, what's the point? Why? This is too, my mind can't hold this reality. And if you fail at that point to continue, you go into what's called 灭尽定, the samadhi of ultimate cessation, where everything stops. And you're no further use along the bodhisattva path. And the Buddhas are really concerned that people who are ready, they're qualified for that state, continue. They appear to the cultivator and say, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. Give me a C, give me a U, give me an L, give me a T. What's it spelled? Cultivation. Cultivation, cultivation. They encourage us on, and they say living beings are suffering. The suffering isn't less. It's just that you could quit, but don't. Remember your vows. They urge you on. Sutra talks about this. And you do, and at that point, you reach what is called Wugong Yonghang. You pass to the stage of Avaivartika, Wutuizhuan, no further retreat. And your mind flips. Consciousness becomes complete wisdom, and you become a great hero on the bodhisattva path. So this is Xing Wu Zuo Dao. You walk the path that leads to that place where Wu Gong Yong Heng, no further effort required. And what you can do at that point with a single turning of a thought, you do the work that before took you much, much, much more effort to accomplish. Once you get to this Butuizhuan, you don't think anymore in the old way, but with just the slightest intention, you can turn worlds upside down and inside out, and to the benefit of all living beings. So this is, here is pointing to that state. It's between the 7th and 8th stage of the 10 stages. 在这里，这个心无做到呢，这是菩萨，他呢，就像《金刚经》，《金刚经》就是观一切法如梦幻泡影，如露亦如电影，所如是观一样的。在这里，菩萨呢，他就明白一切法，一切业如梦如想，众生如影，诸法如幻。这个智慧呢是很难得的，难来的，不容易。你必须要有很坚固的定力，你就会这样观察。菩萨他就在这里，好像演戏一样的观察一切诸法，如这样说。所以呢，他知道，万法皆空。他继续用万法来度众生，不是说，他就在那儿，就到了高速公路，就过那个高速公路，行步过那个6 lane 高速公路，说万法皆空，所以没事，他这样子一定会牺生命，而且会引起其他人受伤了。所以他不是这样做，他观察，他用他的智慧观察法界空了，继续在事实里边了，在这个日用伦常的这个世界里边，用智慧度众生，那么这个就说皆一切法，皆无所作，心无作道，这什么意思呢？这就是指的那个华严经十地品第7、第8地之间，就是讲菩萨在那个时候，他就到什么呢？到这个不退转的地位， 那么在那个时候，他就有所谓无功永恒。无功永恒呢，就是他的心呢有变化，他从实心就到智心，智慧发了。然后呢，他他已经证得这个无功永恒啊，他不退转。那个时候，他动一点点，这个他不是说有念头，那个时候他的念头、他的思想完全不一样了，跟我们以前不一样。可是呢，他就有那个意思，世界都转变了那么等我们到时候我们都可以研究这个就说这个第六回向是提到那个时候菩萨继续想前进想佛国就佛道这个继续用功，那个时候他就那个五做到成功的时候大不一样。好的 Okay, so we see our bodhisattva this is describing this amazing state where to use the word schizophrenic is not correct, but it's kind of describes the state where the bodhisattva has to look. The key word is he contemplates, or she contemplates, uses this knowledge, this wisdom to look at the world and acts in the world, but isn't attached to the action in the old way. Understands how everything is empty, everything is broken, and yet uses empty, broken dharmas to teach. It would be a mistake to assume that the bodhisattva uses this knowledge of everything is empty, everything is broken, to go out and play in the traffic. You go down to the Berkeley Marina, you have an 8-lane highway there, you jump over the guardrail and walk into the 8-lane highway and you say, everything is broken, everything is empty. You won't last long. You will not only die in traffic, you'll also create conditions for harming your fellow passengers on the freeway in their cars going at 80 miles an hour, right? So the bodhisattva knows these things, contemplates with his or her wisdom, but still, in the midst of that, is skillful using worldly dharmas to teach. Now, if you will remember, just before this, that was a long time ago, wasn't it, in the 10 Transferences. If you think back to the 10 practices, if you were with me at that time, and even in the 10 grounds, the fifth stage number 5, is where the bodhisattva masters worldly dharmas. It describes them. It talks about how the bodhisattva, the 5 wu ming xue, that the 5 sciences, the 5-fold sciences, come alive for the bodhisattva because he, with his samadhi, number 5 step is 这个禅定，那个禅波罗蜜, right? The Chan Paramita. At that point, the bodhisattva becomes really good at knowing everything from analyzing stone recitation beads to repairing computers and everything in between. The bodhisattva is a good cook. The bodhisattva is a good teacher. The bodhisattva is a good writer. The bodhisattva is a doctor. The bodhisattva lives all these worldly dharmas because he now is able to teach and can apply all of those skillful worldly knowledge, all that skillful worldly knowledge without attaching to any of it because he sees the emptiness. Or she sees the emptiness. So from that point on, the bodhisattva now is really good. It's not that they hold themselves apart from ordinary people because ordinary people aren't pure. Where is that? That's not it. That's not the bodhisattva path at all. This bodhisattva goes to college. This bodhisattva enrolls in any kind of knowledge, any kind of program that they can to learn how to teach because they know they see that all things are empty, so why not use your time to help others wake up. How clear this is. If you don't have samadhi, then nobody's pure. And you're afraid of getting polluted by living beings. But once you have real samadhi that's based in compassion, you realize that this is the only game in town, is helping wake others up. 各位记得吗？那个第五恒、第五回向，菩萨在那个时候做什么呢？他就学习世间的知识，他就变成一种学生，他所谓无名学就是医学那个文字还有这个因果，还有这个供桥，还有第五个我都 logic 是什么？因明学他完全参与这种学问，有任何的高等的学问他都要学，他要申请大学研究院因为他要用，他明白一切法界空了，他就要用这个空法来跟众生结缘，度他们如果你就听到某某法师说，哎呀，众生那么不清净，我不愿意碰了，那你就这个人没有定力，他不是行菩萨道，他可以说他不信佛法他就说，哎，我才清净，他们都邋遢，他们不清净呢，那为什么菩萨他就尽量的学习一切的世间法来令众生欢喜，可以接近，然后用那个善缘度他们呢？一定要的，这是从明白万法皆空之后那么说众生邋遢不清净呢，太执着了不认识真正的实法OK， 好的 We need to take a little break here briefly and do what? What are we going to do? Talk about Tofurkey and Thanksgiving and no, not that. We're going to switch over to something very special. We're going to switch over to the biography of Master Xuanzang. Let's see. Not my notes. I need my notes now. I need this. Right there it is. And I'm going to bring up hold on here. Now I have to share my screen. Okay. We'll put this away for now. We'll continue next week at 佛子慈菩萨摩诃萨住一切智. We'll start there next week. We'll start at Bodhisattvas abide in omniscient wisdom, regardless of where they are. We'll start there. 下个礼拜在这里又继续研究十回向品. Here we are. Okay, this is what we want. I'm going to make this smaller. And those of you who have a bigger screen, there we go. And we'll park it over there. A little too small. There we go. And park this over here. We can look at both at once. Okay, here we go. 我们就研究继续 story time. Let's see here. 智小法师持记相识人生. Okay, right. Yes, right here. This is where we left off. So, 随福言安智. Yes, here we go. This is where we start today. So, 智小法师时期向诗人圣水及朝病自送至十余里云是从此路径向第四峰，彼人亦有善心，又是弟子骨肉，姓王伯龙至彼可言弟子遣师来，弃拜而别。你看这个善心的这个军人就说再见，又哭了既去夜到第四峰，恐为流难欲没曲水而过，至水未下间，飞剑而至，飞剑一至， 换入钱包 ，Don't shoot， 不要放箭，不要射箭。积极向之，必易下来，入风。封官相问答，欲望天主。路有于此，第一封王祥，下位故前相过，必闻欢喜流苏。更是大皮囊骑马迈向送，云时不须向第五封，鄙人疏率，恐生意图意图就是说害你可以于此去百里须有野马泉更取水，从事已去。即摩诃言气，长800余里，故曰沙河。上无飞鸟，下无走兽。好不好听？不好听。腹无水草，危险No man's land, right? 世事故应唯一，但念观音菩萨即般若心经。Okay, here we go. So let's see, here it is. On hearing this, Wang Xiang, the kind-hearted soldier at the third watchtower, said with sympathy, "I'm lucky to have to meet you. How could I do anything other than help you out? You're probably tired. Take a rest. I'll send you off and I'll show you the way myself." So he spread out a bamboo mat. Master Xuanzang slept on the floor. Boy, can you imagine the nights that he passed on the road? Oof. At dawn, the master took his meal. Wang Xiang ordered his men to fill his water bag, gave him with wheat cakes, and sent him off for 10 Chinese miles off to the west. He said to Master Xuanzang, "If you go this way, you'll make it to the fourth watchtower. The person there, by the name of Wang Bolang, he's one of my relatives. He's got a kind heart. I'm related. He's my cousin, uncle, nephew. So when you see him, tell him I sent you." And he sent Master Xuanzang off, said goodbye, and cried. So Master Xuanzang said goodbye and got to the fourth watchtower, walking with a skinny red horse and a bag full of wheat cakes. Afraid that he might be stopped there, his plan was to grab some water and slip on past. He didn't even want to come to their attention. But he couldn't even get off his horse. An arrow comes shooting past him. So he shouts out, "Don't shoot, I'm a monk on a pilgrimage. I got a mission." So he went into the watchtower, and the soldiers came down and grabbed him, took him in. And the officer in charge, Master Xuanzang, says, "I'm on my way to India. Captain Wang Xiang of the first watchtower sent me this way." And so Wang Bolang said, "Yes, oh, good, yeah, I know him. He's my relative. And I'll put you up for the night." And he said, "Here, you're going to need this." He gave him a large water bag, and he fed his horse, gave him some horse feed. And he said, "Don't go to the fifth watchtower. The guy there is rough, and he's going to give you trouble. But if you go around, you can get to the Wild Horse Spring, and there you can refill your water bag." So what was ahead? The Taklamakan Desert, the Mohayan River of Sand, goes 800 Chinese miles. He has to cross it on foot with a horse alone. This is what the ancients called the River of Sand. There's no birds above, there is no animals below, there's no water, there's no grass. So Master Xuanzang had only his lonely shadow traveling with him. All he could do was recite the name of Guanyin Bodhisattva and the Heart Sutra. Now, what about the Heart Sutra? 般若心经, take a look. 世事故应唯一，当念观音菩萨即般若心经. What about this? We haven't heard about this before. Let's take a look. 初法师在蜀 见一病人身疮续会，衣服破污，民将相思，施于衣服饮食之之，病者惭愧，乃受法师此经，印常诵习，至沙河间，封住恶鬼，起状异类，少人在后，绕人前后，虽念观音，不能令去，即诵此经，发生皆散，在为祸己，世所封言。Okay, here's the story. Pay attention here, everybody, this is important. Formerly, when the master was in the region of Shu, Sichuan, he once saw a sick man suffering from a foul skin condition and dressed in rags. Don't you know it stunk? Foul meaning stinky. With a feeling of pity, he took the man to his monastery and gave him money to buy clothing and food. So basically, Master Xuanzang healed him, right? Being ashamed of himself, the sick man taught the master this sutra, which he often recited. In the desert, he met various evil spirits with strange appearances that surrounded him and refused to be dispelled completely, although he repeated the name of Avalokiteshvara. He was going, Namo Guanyin Pusa, Namo Guanyin Pusa, Johu Jonan, Guanxin Pusa, Datsadabe, Guanxin Pusa. And these evil spirits were aware of Guanyin, and they didn't run away. They thought Master Xuanzang was going to be a tasty meal. But as soon as he uttered the sutra, they all disappeared. It was by depending upon this sutra that he was saved from many a peril. Okay, 各位注意，怎么说呢？就说到时候能念心经，般若心经，尤其是般若心经最后的揭谛揭谛波罗揭谛波罗僧揭谛菩提所诃，般若心经的咒文就会，你如果到紧要的关头，到危险的时候能念心经，就不要看本子啊，看本子来不及了，太迟了，你都要念心经，还有那个心经最后的揭谛揭谛波罗揭谛波罗僧揭谛菩提所诃，就像玄奘大师那个大灾难变小，小灾难就变没有了。这个般若心经是属于般若大法，般若波罗蜜多，那个就金刚经也是属于那个法，那么能运用这个心经和金刚经就说金刚菩萨来维护，所以呢，那个是非常宝贵的一个法宝。So pay attention. The Heart Sutra, like the Vajra Sutra, is a wonderful Dharma treasure. If you can recite it, it belongs to the Prajna group of sutras, and the Vajra Bodhisattvas are there to protect you. If you can recite the Heart Sutra from memory, don't look at your book, you don't have time to look at your book, and also the mantra at the end, Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvaha. If you can remember to recite in times of troubles, big disasters become little, and little ones become nothing. Okay. Phil in Canada fell off his bike. He cut his arms and hips with blood and gravel. 2 kind people came and helped him recover, helped him get home. He was so humbled and inspired by the generosity of 2 people who helped him when he fell off his bike. That happens. I fall off my bike a lot. At the hospital, when he went to recover, he was patient, he was grateful, and was glad that those 2 people helped him. So there he was sitting in the emergency room, and he saw a tired mother with an injured child, and he went to comfort them. He listened, he was caring, and paid attention, passing on the blessings. Phil, thank you for the good deed. We sent you music. I hope you found music that you enjoyed. So go to dharmaradio.org to do good deeds, and we will be happy to give you your choice of Dharma music. All right, let's dedicate merit, 我们回向功德, just like the Bodhisattvas. Here we go. May every living being, our minds as one and radiant with light, share the fruits of peace with hearts of goodness, luminous and bright. If people hear and see how hands and hearts can find in giving unity, may our minds away to great compassion, wisdom, and to joy. May kindness find reward, may all who sorrow leave their grief and pain. May this boundless light dispel the darkness of our endless night. Because our hearts are one, this world of pain turns into paradise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise. That's going to do it for us for today. Let us bow to the Buddhas. All right. 我们就向诸佛菩萨礼三心问礼. First bow. Second bow. Third bow. Bow in respect to the Venerable Master. Alrighty, we'll see you all next week. Am.pm.